In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet the Camellia BEANIE, which is made of 2 pieces with a combination of stitches, to be worked in the round and back and forth with bulky weight yarn. Find the link to the written instructions and more details about this pattern in the description of this video. You'll need a 6mm crochet hook, one 200 grams skein of bulky weight acrylic yarn in yellow, tapestry needle, scissors, and measuring tape. We'll start with the main piece, which is started from the crown and crocheted in the round in closed rounds. Find the link to the support chart with symbols in the description of this video. It will be very useful to follow the sequence of stitches in every round. Make a slip ring. And we're ready to start with round 1. Chain 3, and make 9 double crochets inside the ring. To have a total of 10 stitches. Pull the beginning tail to close, and in the third beginning chain, insert the hook, yarn over, and pull through the stitch and the loop on the hook. To close with slip stitch. Pull the beginning tail once more, and round 1 is finished with 10 stitches. Now we'll continue with round 2, where we'll make double crochet clusters. Chain 2, and make a 2 double crochet cluster by making a yarn over. Insert the hook in the first stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, stop and start another double crochet, yarn over, insert hook in same stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the 3 loops on the hook, and chain 1 to close. And we've completed a 2 double crochet cluster. And with the 2 beginning chains, we've completed the first 3 double crochet cluster. It's important that you remember that this chain is part of the double crochet cluster and that it will be made to close each cluster. That's why you won't see it represented in the chart. Make 1 more chain, and in next stitch we'll make a 3 double crochet cluster. Yarn over, insert hook in next stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert hook in same stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, start a last double crochet, yarn over, insert hook in same stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through 4 loops on the hook, and chain 1 to close. And we've completed a 3 double crochet cluster. Chain 1 and make a 3 double crochet cluster in next stitch. By making 1 double crochet until one step before closing, another double crochet until one step before closing in same stitch, another double crochet in same stitch, take a last yarn over, pull through 4 loops on the hook, and chain 1 to close, and another 3 double crochet cluster has been completed. Chain 1, and we'll repeat this sequence of 1 3 double crochet cluster plus 1 chain in every following stitch. And to close the round, skip the 2 beginning chains and insert the hook in the first double crochet cluster. And make 1 slip stitch to close. And round 2 is finished with 10 3 double crochet clusters and 10 chain 1 spaces. For round 3, we'll start by making 1 slip stitch. By inserting the hook in chain 1 space, yarn over, and pull through to close the slip stitch. Chain 2, make a 2 double crochet cluster in the same chain 1 space, chain 1, a 3 double crochet cluster in the same chain 1 space, chain 1, skip next cluster, then 3 double crochet cluster and chain 1 twice in next chain 1 space, And repeat this sequence of 3 double crochet cluster and chain 1 twice in next chain 1 space and skip next cluster all around. And to finish the round, skip the 2 beginning chains and make 1 slip stitch in the first double crochet cluster. And round 3 is finished with 23 double crochet clusters and 20 chain 1 spaces. For round 4, start with 1 slip stitch in the chain 1 space, chain 2, a 2 double crochet cluster in same chain 1 space, chain 1, skip next cluster, 3 double crochet cluster in next chain 1 space, chain 1, and repeat this sequence of 3 double crochet cluster and chain 1 in next chain 1 space and skip next cluster all around. Slip stitch in first double crochet cluster, and round 4 is finished with 23 double crochet clusters and 20 chain 1 spaces. For round 5, slip stitch in chain 1 space, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster, chain 1, skip next cluster, 3 double crochet cluster and chain 1 twice in next chain 1 space, skip next cluster, 3 double crochet cluster and chain 1 in next chain 1 space, and repeat this sequence of 3 double crochet cluster and chain 1 twice in next chain 1 space, skip next cluster, 3 double crochet cluster and chain 1 in next chain 1 space, skip next cluster, all that sequence of stitches 8 more times. Then 3 double crochet cluster and chain 1 twice in next chain 1 space, and slip stitch in first double crochet cluster. And round 5 is finished with 30 3 double crochet clusters and 30 chain 1 spaces. For round 6, slip stitch in chain 1 space, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster in same chain 1 space, chain 1, skip next cluster, 3 double crochet cluster in next chain 1 space, chain 1, skip next cluster, and repeat the sequence of 3 double crochet cluster and chain 1 in next chain 1 space and skip next cluster all around. Slip stitch in first double crochet cluster to close, and round 6 is finished with 30 3 double crochet clusters and 30 chain 1 spaces. And from rounds 7 to 12 we'll continue repeating round 6. This is our work by the end of round 7, and this is our work by the end of round 12. Fast enough, weave in all ends, and the main piece of the beanie is finished. Now we'll continue with the ribbing, which is crocheted back and forth and started from one end. Chain 5, and starting in second chain from the hook, single crochet 4. And row 1 is finished with 4 stitches. For row 2, turn, chain 1, make 1 back loop single crochet in first stitch, and 1 back loop single crochet in every following stitch to complete 4 stitches. And row 2 is finished with 4 stitches, all made in back loop of stitches from last row. For following rows, turn and repeat chain 1 and back loop single crochet 4 for a total of 4 stitches until completing 60 rows. In order to count the rows, observe the structure of stitches from the front and back. This will make it easier to count the number of rows you have made. And this is the work by the end of row 60 for a strap which is approximately 53 centimeters long. Fasten off by leaving a long tail for sewing. Weave in the beginning tail, and the ribbing is finished. Now, with tapestry needle, we'll join the edge of the main piece from the right side with the ribbing by taking one double crochet cluster, pull yarn to close, then take one stitch of first row of the edge of the ribbing, pull the yarn to close, then take next chain one space from the main piece, and one stitch from next row of the edge of the ribbing. Continue with next double crochet cluster, one stitch from next row on the edge of the ribbing, next chain one space from main piece, one stitch from next row on the edge of the ribbing, and continue in the same way until sewing all around the complete edge. Then overlap the ends of the ribbing and join from the wrong side. According to the sequence of the ribbing on the right side. fasten off, and weave in all ends. And the Camellia beanie is finished. A comfortable design which is more slouchy on the head, to go with many pretty winter outfits. A very enjoyable project, and also fast to complete.